A very good morning, students. Hope you all are safe and healthy. So, what is our today's thought? The thought for the day is our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Means the more we say, okay, how does it matter if I am failed? No issues, I will try one more time. Means you are moving ahead towards success. Don't be scared of failure, but always have this faith in you that you can do something great and keep on trying and trying and trying, and one day you will surely get success. So what is the word for the day? Succeed, achieve the desired aim or result. Now what is our today's topic? Our today's topic is subject and predicate. See children, this is not a new topic for you people. This is a topic that you people might have studied in your previous classes too. Now subject. What is subject? Who or what the sentence about? Like Sarah plays. About whom is this plays? Who plays? Sarah. The sentence tells something about whom? Sarah. So this Sarah is the subject of the sentence. Predicate what the subject is doing. Gray writes. Who? What does Gray do? Gray write. What action does Gray perform? Writes. So writes is the predicate of the sentence. Now see this picture. This is a very interesting picture of Spider-Man. What does Spider-Man do? Spider-Man always fights for good. Okay, he always condemns bad things, bad people. Okay, so who our sentence is the Spider-Man is running after the bad man. Who is running? Spider-Man is running. Who is running? Spider-Man. What kind of action is the Spider-Man doing? Is running after the bad man. Okay, what is Spider-Man doing? What kind of action is Spider-Man doing? He is running. So is running after the bad man is our predicate and Spider-Man is our subject. Clear? So now what is our subject? A subject is the person or thing that is doing an action, or the person or thing that is the focus of the sentence. Like if in a sentence we are talking about somebody or something, then it means that is the that is our focus. Means we are focusing on that particular person and telling something, giving some information about that person. Or we can say the person who is doing an action is known as our subject of the sentence. Now what is predicate? The predicate of the sentence is the part that contains the action. The predicate of the sentence is the part that contains the action. Means what kind of action is being performed, what kind of work is being done by the subject is known as the predicative part. Now let's see some more example. Mr. Smith took a walk. Mr. Smith. Who took a walk? Mr. Smith. What did Mr. Smith do? What kind of action did he perform? Took a walk. So this is what? Our predicate. The dentist pulled out a tooth. The dentist pulled out a tooth. Who pulled out? Dentist. What did the dentist do? Pulled out a tooth. So this is our subject and this is our predicate. The pig with the big snout slobbered on a kid. Who slobbered on a kid? The pig with big snout. Okay. And what action did the pig perform? Slobbered on a kid. So this is our predicate. This is our, these green ones are our subjects and these are all our predicates. Now see this in the previous slide you people have seen that there is only one word, okay, or there one animal that is there with an adjective, okay, like the girl with the lady with her three children. This kind of sentences you people have done most often. Now the second thing is that a subject can be a compound subject and a predicate can also be a compound predicate. Now what is the meaning of compound? I have told you compound verb last year when I taught you. I taught you in the class that there are some compound verb. Like if I say she is a girl. Now here she is a girl. Is a verb. Okay. She writes a letter. Writes is a verb. Okay. But when I say she has written a letter. Now we are having two verbs, has and written. Has is what? Helping verb, and written is what? Main verb. So it is called a compound verb, and verb is made up of two words. Then it is called compound verb. Similarly, when a subject is means in a subject part of a sentence, we have the two doers of a thing, then it is called a compound subject. Similarly, if we find that one person is performing two actions, then it means it is known as a compound predicate. Clear? See, compound subject is made up of two or more simple subject. A compound predicate is made up of two or more simple predicates. Like compound subject, my sister and I were born in Japan. Who were born in Japan? My sister and I. We are talking about two persons. Who were born? My sister and I. When we say a question, who were born? Then we get the answer, my sister and I. So it means this is a compound subject. Compound predicate. We live and work in the United States. What do? We live. What else we do? We work in the, we live in the US, we work in the US. So we are performing the here, we is performing two actions, living and working. So it is again a compound predicate. Let's see some more example. A fool and his money are easily parted. A fool and his money. See, two simple subjects have been connected with the conjunction and. So this complete is our subject. Let's see one more example. Time and tide waits for none or no man. See, time and tide. Two things have been connected with the help of and. Now, similarly, there is compound predicate. Let's see some example. The cat chased and caught the mouse. What actions did the cat do? Cat chased the mouse. Cat caught the mouse. Two actions were performed by the cat. Cat chased the mouse. Cat caught the mouse. Right? So, this is what is our compound predicate. Compound verb is given. So, it is called a compound predicate. Similarly, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb and held over 1000 patents for his inventions. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb and held over 1000 patents for his inventions. So two different things, two different actions are given. Two different activities have been put in this sentence, and that is the reason it is a compound predicate. Now see some tricky subject and predicate. Someday Miss Reep and her team will get success in their mission. In her pocket, Miss Kia found $1 million. With a big smile, Mr. Richmond happily rewarded us all with pizza. Out of the woods came a bear. Now see, here the subject is not in the beginning. In the previous sentences, what did we find? That subject is in the beginning. Okay, in all the sentences till now we have found that subject is in the beginning, but in these sentences the subject is not in the beginning. So what can help us? Only the question who did can or who performs. When we ask this question after putting the sentence in front of us, then on whatever we get in the answer is the subject. Like someday Miss Reep and her team will get success in their mission. Now if I say someday, who will get success in their mission? What answer do we get? Tell me. Who will tell me? Yes. Vanshika Yadav, you tell me. Yes. Yes, tell me. Yes, Miss Reep and her team. So this is the subject. Now let's see second sentence. In her pocket, Miss Kia found $1 million. Who found $1 million? Miss Kia. Who found? Miss Kia. Okay. So this is a subject. With a big smile, Dr. Richmond happily rewarded us all with pizza. Okay, Heyman, you tell me. Who happily rewarded us all the pizza? Tell me. Miss Dr. Richmond. Out of the woods came a bear. Who came out of the woods? A bear. So, bear is a subject. See, whenever we make a question with who or who performs, who does, then we get the answer, and this answer is our subject of the sentence. Now, be careful with verbs, sentences that begin with there plus a form of the verb to be, is, are, am, was, were. There is, in such sentence, there is not the subject It merely signals that the true subject will soon follow after the the verb and there. Okay, as in the following example, there were three stray kittens covering under our porch steps this morning. There were three stray kittens covering under our porch steps this morning. Who were covering under our porch steps? Three stray kittens, not there. Okay, there is not the subject. If a sentence starts with there, the subject will not be in the beginning. Clear? Let's see some more example. There is no place like home. Like if we change the sentence and speak like this, no place is like home. So what is coming in the beginning? See, no place. So no place is the subject. There are many leaves on the ground. If we speak it in other way, instead of using there, if we speak in another way, we will say many leaves are there on the ground. So this is the subject. Now, subject in an imperative sentence. In imperative sentence, why do we use imperative sentence? To give command, order, or differ, uh, or what suggestion. Okay, and differ from assertive sentences in that subject, which is always you. What is the implied subject in imperative sentences? You. The subject of imperative sentences is always you. If I say shut the door, and I say he shut the door, she shut the door, they shut the door, it sounds little uneasy, uncomfortable sentence. When we say you shut the door, then we find it absolutely fine, that it sounds fine. So, what is the implied subject of imperative sentences? The implied subject of imperative sentences is always you and is understood rather than expressed. Means it is not written, it is just understood. So, as in the following sentences, stand up. Now, stand up. What is the implied subject? You. You should stand up. You is understood before stand. Let's see some more example. Give water to the plants. Now, what is this? If we add a subject to it, how it become? You should give water to the plant. So, what is the implied subject here? You. If you have been given a sentence to find the subject of the sentence, give water to the plant, what you will write? Either you will put a cross or you will write you. Okay, you don't ever touch my phone. You should never touch my phone. Now, what is the subject? What is the implied subject? You. Now, if you either you have to put a cross or you have to write you in case you get this sentence or this kind of sentence in your exam. Hope it is clear. Subject in an interrogative sentence. In an interrogative sentence, the subject is being asked about where is the house. The house is in the next lane. See, we are asking about what? The house. Where is the house? What is where? The house. If we answer these questions, we will get the subject. The house is in the next lane. What is coming in the beginning? The house. So it is our subject. Is she awake? Who is awake? Is she. She is our subject. Did she finish her work? Who finished her work? She. So she is our subject. When does Ram want to go to London? Ram wants to go to London in the month of May. This is the answer. What is coming in the beginning? Ram. So Ram is the subject. Means if you get interrogative sentences to find out subject and predicate, then what you do, the basic trick, you do it in two steps. First you change it into assertive and then easily you will be able to pick the subject before verb whatever is given. This is the subject, and after verb whatever is given or with verb including verb, that will be the predicative part of the sentence. Now, subject in an exclamatory sentence. How friendly the chairman behaves. Who behaves friendly? Yes. Who will answer? Yes, chairman. I could hear some voice. Chairman. Who behaves friendly? Chairman. So, this is an exclamatory sentence. This sentence is starting from how, but we know that predicate is a description about subject and predicate is about the chairperson. So, subject is the chairperson. Clear? See for more example, what a beautiful girl she is. Who is a beautiful girl? She. So she is the subject, rest all is predicate. How clever he is. Who is very clever? He. So he is the subject, rest all is predicate. Oh, I could not check it. Who could not check it? I. So this is the subject. Thank you. Now, along with this, I will be sending some book exercises that you people have to do. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.